Jesus of Nazareth is quoted as saying that a person should remove the log in his own eyes to see the speck in the eyes of other people. And when I say Jesus of Nazareth, I mean Jesus of Nazareth and not Jesus Christ, who is the God of Christians. Because Jesus of Nazareth never claimed to even be the Jewish expected Messiah, and he was not the Jewish expected Messiah, insofar as he did not accomplish what the Jewish expected Messiah was expected to accomplish, namely, liberate the Jews from the clutches of neighboring countries, political bondages, liberate the Jews from political bondages. He was not even a political leader like David, like King David, and they wanted a Messiah like King David because King David liberated the Jews from all the political bondages of his time, such that Israel enjoyed unprecedented peace and prosperity. And so a time came that they longed to have another King David, and that was the type of Messiah they were expecting. But Jesus of Nazareth was not even a politician, so as to say, let alone a military leader like David. And so he was an itinerant preacher, not a politician, not a military leader. So, how somebody who could not liberate the Jews became the liberator of the whole world? But what did Jesus Christ liberate the world from? From sin. Which sin? I don't know. Only Christians can tell us. But what I'm saying at this point is that Jesus of Nazareth is quoted as saying in the scripture, remove the log from your own eyes before you can see the speck in another person's eye. So, Christians will not do that because they belong to Jesus Christ, not to Jesus of Nazareth. And Jesus of Nazareth knew nothing about a religion called Christianity. The only religion he knew was the one into which he was born, and he practiced Judaism. So the Christians are saying that traditional Africans are worshiping God through divinities, that they don't worship God directly. That traditional Africans don't worship God directly like themselves, that they are worshiping God through the divinities. But the truth of the matter is that traditional Africans don't worship God through anybody or anything. It's true, they associate with the divinities. They interact with the divinities on the basis of what God has endowed each divinity. Not that they are asking the divinities to get anything from them from God, but that whatever a divinity is endowed by God to deliver to humanity. Not that if they want something from God, they will go to God through a divinity. No. And so I keep saying, adherents of African traditional religion don't go to God through any divinity. No. If they want to ask for something from a divinity based on what God has endowed that divinity with, just like a fellow human being, you go to a carpenter to make a table for you because God has endowed him with the knowledge of carpentry and he does it for you. It has nothing to do with turning to God. You go to a carpenter to make a table for you. As simple as that, because God has given him the grace to learn carpentry, to learn and know carpentry, and can make it. Okay? So that is the understanding, but not that if they want something from God, they will go through a divinity. They don't. Even Orunmila, to do divination for you, does not need to go to God. God has made him the witness of destiny. So is endowed with knowledge of divination. And so when you consult him, just like you consult a carpenter, he does divination for you. So those who say, if you ask Babalawo, we ask Orunmila, we ask God, is just poetry, a composition, an imagination. But otherwise, Orunmila was the witness of destiny. So when you get to the world and you don't know the way out, Orunmila, who is witness of destiny, shows you the way. As simple as that. It's like somebody who knows the way around Lagos, and you say, please, how do I go? And they say, this is the way you go. Simple. It's not about if Orunmila asking Olodumare, what should I tell them? No. It's not like that. So from head to toe, traditional Africans don't involve any divinity between them and God when they want to communicate to God. And they do more often than not. When they wake up, when they are traveling, when they want to embark on anything, they invoke God without bringing in any divinity. So how do they worship God through the divinities? They don't. The divinities don't come between traditional Africans and God. No, the divinities are just like human beings, endowed with certain talents which you tap. That's how it is. They don't go to God through any divinity. So it is Christians, Christian professors of African traditional religion, who turn the divinities into gods. And the hook is swallowed even by the likes of Professor Wole Soyinka. The deities. Olarotimi, gods, and the rest of them. And that is what some professors, or I should say many professors of African traditional religion, are teaching our children in the universities. So, but the other thing about it is that you now see that the Christians themselves are the ones worshiping God through Christ, through Jesus Christ, their Lord. And they are projecting their own intermediary into traditional Africa, turning the divinities into intermediary. They don't go to God through any divinity in traditional Africa. It is you, Christians, who go to God through Christ, through Jesus Christ, your Lord. You say Jesus Christ has a name greater than any other name, which means greater than God's own name too, and that all powers are in his hand. So we don't know whether anything remains in the hands of the Creator, God himself. So you are projecting the corruption in your head into African traditional religion, and that is what you are teaching African children, that garbage, that corruption. Eh? So you like to derogate other religions to promote your own. Without Jesus Christ, God will not bless you. You are doomed. Oh my God. That is what is in your scripture. But it is garbage. It is